What is ketosis? How does it work? To understand what ketosis is, we need to define how the body obtains fuel for energy. So to start, we have our three main sources of energy, or macronutrients. 1. Carbohydrates. 2. Protein. 3. Fats. Then, we have the process of how the body breaks down each macronutrient, stores it, and uses it to transform it into energy. Carbohydrates, for example, use sugar as their main source of energy, then break it down to glucose through a process known as glycolysis. Proteins, on the other hand, use amino acids as their main source of energy, then break it down to glucose through a process known as gluconeogenesis. Finally, fats use fatty acids as their main source of energy and break it down into ketones through a process known as ketosis. So, in summary, ketosis is when the body obtains its energy through ketones using fats as its main source of energy. How does ketosis work? Basically, what you are trying to do is to make your body get the energy through ketones, not glucose, as it normally does. The problem is that ketones don't show up in your body if you consume too many carbohydrates or proteins. So how can you make your body produce ketones? You need to increase your fat intake and reduce your protein and carbohydrate intake. What is the macro split to get into the state of ketosis? The amount varies from person to person, but the general rule is 70% fat, 20% protein, 10% carbohydrate. So, for example, if you are on a 2,000 calorie diet, you will need to have 1,400 calories from fat, 400 calories from protein, and 200 calories from carbohydrates. On a balanced diet, you usually have from 30% to 35% for all macronutrients. How will ketosis feel like? This is obviously going to be different from person to person, so we will list some of the stages you should feel while going through ketosis, but remember that everyone is different, and it doesn't mean you should go through all the stages. Short-term symptoms, 1 to 14 days. 1. You may have headaches. 2. Fatigue and weakness, known as the keto flu. 3. Reduced sleep time. The beginning stages are usually uncomfortable because your body is not used to getting fat as its main energy source. When the glycogen storages start to deplete, you will start having the symptoms mentioned before. Always check with your doctor before starting any diet or having any symptom that isn't going away. Midterm symptoms, 2 to 5 weeks. 1. Reduce brain fog. 2. Increase energy level. 3. Reduce bloating in your stomach. 4. Increase weight loss. This is when you start getting all the benefits of the keto diet, and you begin to see the changes in your body. Long-term symptoms, 1 month, forever? Studies with people going on the keto diet plan are relatively new, so we don't know the long-term results yet. At the same time, staying in ketosis, all the time, is relatively hard. How will ketosis burn fat? The two biggest reasons. 1. Fats are incredibly satiating. This makes the hunger and cravings start to go away. Why? Your insulin levels are lower, and you don't have the typical sugar spikes that you feel on a high-carb diet. In the end, this helps so you don't overeat when you are on a calorie deficit. 2. You train your body to use ketones as fuel and not glucose, so you basically make your body into a fat-burning machine. Obviously, like any other diet out there, you need to be on a calorie deficit. This applies to all diets on a weight loss goal. But the benefit of a keto diet is that the body gets used to using fat as its main energy source, so when you are on a calorie deficit, it goes straight to the fat. What ketosis levels do you need in the body? Ketones are measured using a millimolar per liter of blood. How many millimolar per liter should my blood have to be in ketosis? 0.5 to 1 is called light nutritional ketosis. 1 to 3 is called the optimal nutritional ketosis. More than 3 is when you are exercising and fasting. Above 8, you could be in a state of ketoacidosis. How can you measure your millimolar per liter in your blood? First, it's important to know that ketones are composed of 3 ketone bodies. These are BHB, ACAC, and acetone. So the 3 tests we will indicate are based on these 3 body measurements. 1. Blood test kit, measures beta-hydroxybutyrate, BHB. 2. Urine strips, measures acetoacetate, ACAC. 3. Breath meter, measures acetone. They all have pros and cons, but in summary, the blood test is the most effective but most expensive. Urine strips are not as effective as blood tests, but they are cheaper and easy to use. A breath meter would be the last option for accuracy, but it's obviously the most convenient to start with. How can I start the keto diet? It's always a time versus cost dilemma. How fast do you want results versus how much money are you willing to invest? Here are 4 approaches going from the most time-consuming but cost-effective to the less time-consuming but expensive. 1. Read blogs online and start making your own meals, calculating daily and weekly macros. 2. Buy keto recipe books with keto-friendly meals and avoid calculating macros for each meal. Just focus on choosing the meals you like and spend time cooking and eating. 3. Get a personalized diet plan, so you don't even think about what meals to choose from. You already get the meals based on your preferences, gender, and weight goals. 4. Buy keto products, including exogenous ketones, to accelerate the process. So what do you think? Are you ready to start your keto journey?